Snake Eyes is the origin story of the popular G.I. Joe character, probably best known for his hand-to-hand combat and martial arts skills, as well as his really cool ass black costume. In this movie, he's played by Henry Golding, and it is an origin story, like I mentioned, of how he became the character that is known throughout the G.I. Joe universe today. Now, usually before I see a movie, I try to avoid any kind of information or spoilers about the film before I go see it, but I did hear some rumblings that this origin story wasn't quite accurate to how the character was created in the G.I. Joe comic books or cartoon. I'm not really sure which one, but I'm only gonna evaluate this movie on the film's merits. I'm not familiar with the cartoon character or the comic book character's origins, nor do I really care, because anytime a film is made off of a source material, I always judge the film on its own merits rather than trying to compare it to the original material. So I'm gonna judge this film based on what I learned and what I saw in the movie itself. That being said, I really dug what they did with the Snake Eyes character as well as Storm Shadow. They were the two like ninja-like characters in the G.I. Joe universe, and this film I thought did a really clever job of explaining how they came to be. And this film and its origin story did a really great job in explaining it. I thought it was really well done in that sense. Henry Golding, I think, is a fantastic actor, and he's a hunk of burning love, you know what I'm saying? He's a really good looking guy, and there were times throughout the movie I thought maybe he was miscast as this character. You know, he's not really the rough and gritty type of Street Fighter kind of guy that Snake Eyes probably is. So I was like, I don't know if this pretty boy can pull it off, but I think overall he did a fine job and he did well enough to embody this character properly. I do admit that I feel like his accent kind of came and went. It kind of started with that typical, or he attempted an American accent, and I feel like as the film went on, he kind of lost it and reverted back to his normal Eurasian accent. But overall, I thought he did really well. His action scenes, or his performance in the action scenes, were decent, and I'll go into a little more detail about those action scenes in a minute. Andrew Koji, who plays the Storm Shadow character, I thought he was fantastic. I've only seen a few episodes of Warrior, of which he's the star, and it's a martial arts related TV series, and I haven't really gotten into it yet. But now seeing him portray Storm Shadow in the Snake Eyes movie, I think he's a fantastic actor, and he really brought a lot of intensity, a lot of heart to the movie. So I thought he did a great job as well. The rest of the supporting cast is okay. I really felt like they wasted Iko Uwais, who is a fantastic martial artist, and you might have seen him from the Raid movies, and they keep trying to bring him into Hollywood films, but they could never quite figure out how to do it. And he's totally wasted here, unfortunately. He has one fight scene, he's barely in it. So I'm like, yeah, you're gonna bring a guy like that caliber into the movie, why don't you use him? So I felt that was kind of wasted. I did like Discount Margot Robbie. I think her name is Samara Weaving. She was in that hide and seek movie, and I thought she was pretty good as Scarlet. So overall, the cast was decent, but the main people in the cast I thought who were the most important, did the best jobs. I thought they were great. But as I was watching this film, I just couldn't really fully enjoy it. I feel like because the bones are there. It has good framework. It has a solid concept, and it has a solid cast. But I feel like where this film fails in its director, and for several reasons, and also the screenwriter, let me add, because like I said, I feel like this film has really good bones. The structure is there, and the potential is there for a great movie, or a greater movie than what this ended up being. Because like I said, I like the whole storyline of the Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes characters and their rivalry and all of that. I thought that was well done. But for one thing, the fight scenes, the action scenes, they're pure garbage. I must admit, they're horrible, and there's a lot of this really close up shaky cam stuff, and you can't tell what the hell is going on. And it's a shame, really, because from what you can make out of the action scenes, you can really tell that these actors put a lot of time into the training and the choreography and putting together a well-knit fight scene. but the director and the camera work is horrible. And you watched it and you just see a bunch of flailing stuff going on. You're so close to the action that you can't even see, what kind of moves they're making, and it's just horrible. I thought the action scenes were pure garbage, and that's a shame, because a film like this, you really want to sell some really solid hand-to-hand combat, some martial arts, and none of that is there, and I blame that fully on the director. There are also some really kind of questionable details, if you will, during the film. Snake Eyes' character, he joins this Japanese clan and he has to pass these 3 tests to prove himself, and all 3 tests were pretty lame. I'm like, what was the point of that test? And that's all it's gonna be? And I don't want to spoil anything here, but I thought they could have chosen some 3 tests that were of more excitement to the viewer, of more meaning to the viewer, and I just thought they really dropped the ball there on establishing this merit system to join the clan, and it just didn't really make sense to me. And I never really got a good sense of Snake Eyes' ability throughout the film. They show him as an adult for the first time in this cage match, and he's fighting this big guy, and then he joins this, or he tries to join this Japanese ninja clan, and I'm like, okay, so when does he learn all of his ninja skills? Does he already know them before going to the Japanese clan, or does he learn them when he joins the Japanese clan? Because neither is explained really. Once he goes to Japan and lives with the clan, they don't show any training sequences where he learns any of these fighting skills. So then you're meant to assume that he already had them before he went there, but they never showed that either. So I was a little confused as to how good of a fighter his character was supposed to be at any given time in the film. I was always waiting for that training montage. You gotta love a montage, right? I was waiting for that, where they show him how to fight or do some sword skills or whatever, and ninja stuff, really cool ninja shit. And they didn't do that. So I'm like, oh, okay, so then he must have already been a good fighter. Like I said, they didn't show that either. So yeah, this film, like I said, had such strong potential and the bones are there, but the execution of the intricacies and the details throughout the film just didn't do it for me, and it was very frustrating because I wanted to enjoy this film. I like Henry Golding a lot, and I think there's potential for him and Snake Eyes' story going forward. It's very obvious that they want to create a G.I. Joe universe, and I'm all for that, but they really need to select better directors and better writers in order to make that universe successful on any level, as like a MCU or anything like that. So this film, I wanted to like it, but I'm a little disappointed, but I'm also hopeful for the future. So for me, Snake Eyes gets a 6 out of 10. Thank you so much for watching my review. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't done so already, subscribe to my channel, MC on Film, for more reviews in the future.